Okay, so far when we've looked at seventh chords, we've really only seen 5, 7 up here, but there are other seventh chords that have other special powers. So let's look at them. Let's go to the key of F and let's do F major. Okay, so a 2-7 chord. Let's see what that would look like. So if we're in a predominant area and we had a 2 chord, so in the key of F, that's going to be a G minor chord, right? Let's write it. Let's do part writing. I'm going to do it as a 6. Okay, so what do we have here? We have G, B, D, F, right? So we just went up another step and we got that. What kind of chord does that make? It's going to be a 2-6-5. It's a minor chord with what kind of seventh? My root is G and my seventh is F. So it's a minor seventh chord. Okay, so it's a minor seventh chord, no big deal, right? It's technically, what I've spelled out here is a 2-6-5. Now we know seventh chords resolve to 5, but this is not a 5, or we know that seventh chords resolve to 1, but that's only 5-7 chords. What about 2-7 chords? A 2-7 chord can resolve to 5, actually quite nicely. So let's put a resolution to it here. Oops, voice is backwards. Okay, so now we resolved it to a root position 5 chord, key of F, right? So C, E, G, C. So let's see what happened. The root of my 2 chord, which is my G, was able to stay the same. So that's nice. My third, my B, went up a half step, actually a whole step, because it's B flat. My fifth went down a whole step, and my seventh fell down a half step. So a nice transition. Let's hear that. Right? It's a nice sound. So 2-7 or 2-6-5 more commonly, which is what we have here, does occur, can happen. Let's look at what would happen if we were in a minor key. So let's just get weird and flip over to F minor. Okay, what happens now? Okay, so let's build my chord. Okay, what do we have now? We have a 2 chord. So it's a minor 2 chord, and it's going to be diminished, right? So we're in a minor key, so it's got to be a diminished 2 chord. Let's confirm that. So we're in F, so our root is G. G, B flat, minor third, D flat, minor third again. Between B flat and D flat, that means it's a diminished chord. Cool. What's our seventh? F. So is that a major seventh or a minor seventh from G? It's a minor seventh. This gives us what we call, so once we get into the diminished seventh chords, we can start to find this. This is actually a whole new chord for us. This is called a half diminished chord. It's a diminished chord with a minor seventh on it. It's not a diminished seventh. That's the difference here. So if this was F flat, we would have a fully diminished chord. And you're like, hey, there's no such thing as F flat. Oh, there will be. You just wait. We will find F flat sooner or later. I'll leave you in suspense on what that looks like. But for now, we would call this a half diminished chord. Let's just hear it. Right? That's a half diminished chord. It's a diminished seventh triad with a minor seventh on top. It's a seventh chord. Let's resolve it. Now we're going to resolve this to a 5 chord, and that 5 chord we're going to make major, because in a minor key, we like our 5 chords to be major. We're going to resolve it pretty much the same way. We're going to let this interval of a fifth, diminished fifth actually, collapse. We're going to keep a common tone and let this D fall down to a C. Let's hear that resolution. Right? It's a little unexpected, right? Let's hear these two side by side. Oh, you know why it's a little unexpected? I forgot to make this major. There we go. Let's try that again. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, wow, that sounds really unexpected. Okay. So let's hear these side by side. Major and minor. With the major one, we have a minor seventh chord, essentially. And here we have a diminished seventh chord. Let's try it. Okay? So that is another thing that you may encounter in this predominant area, is this diminished 2, 7, creeping up into a half diminished chord. Okay, with that, let's go into a worksheet and test what we know on that. If you do well on the worksheet, continue on. If you struggle with the worksheet a little bit, then maybe rewatch some of this and then try the worksheet again. That's what they're there for. And then we'll move on to harmonizing melodies.